Hey, hey, happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Arise and Thrive show with your girl, Ayo Thomas. I am super excited today. We are launching our AI conversation segment today. So please take some time to share this live. You don't want to miss this live today. I am super excited. We know that AI have definitely changed the landscape of our lives right now. And it is shifting the culture, infiltrating into every aspect of life. And we got so much more to talk about in this AI space. And so I wanted to create an opportunity during the Arise and Thrive show on every third Friday of the month. We will have a special guest, or I'll be talking about AI. I want to create space and opportunity for us to learn and grow and thrive together. So please take time to share this broadcast. I'm excited to have an amazing person on here today. He has been very instrumental in my business success, and started out as a coach and still coaching, and now is my partner, and I'm excited to bring on Breon Bradford. So before I bring him on, I want you to prepare your questions, drop any questions you may have in the chat related to AI. And we're going to kick it today. We're just going to talk about his journey and different things of that nature, how we met, how we connected. And, we're going to just share some of our thoughts around where we believe AI is going. Today will not be a demonstration type live. It will not be like a hands-on tools. We're going to be talking about how you'll be able to access that later on. But without further ado, I'm going to bring on my amazing friend, Breon Bradford. Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey.
All
Hey,
right.
girl.
What's going on?
Oh, man. I'm just excited. I'm excited because, I believe in destiny driven relationships. And I just believe that, and I'm going to share how me and Breon met it shortly. But I know that God divinely aligned us together. And it's just been an incredible experience thus far. Wow, I think May or June will be a year. That is crazy how time has gone by so fast that we were not connected.
That's been
So
wild.
I know. So
It's
first,
going fast.
I know. I'm literally just thinking it is April right now. Like we met, I think it was last May. That's crazy.
Mhm.
So
Wow.
tell us a little bit about who you are and your business a little bit, and then we'll kind of go from there. We'll go and we'll flow.
Okay, so how far do you want me to go back?
Oh, okay. How far you think that you should,
You know what? Since you have a spiritual component to all of
Mhm.
this,
Yeah.
and we all believe and love God, we'll start from there. So,
Okay. Yes.
actually, once I left the career I was in, which was an engineer for AT&T Wireless, I
Mhm.
got into, I was asked to come on staff to my local church.
Mhm.
And at that time, we were really starting to scale and expand. So basically, I went into the video department, the marketing department, and we just started getting real cutting edge with AVL, which is audio, visual, lighting, those areas, and it just blew up. Next thing you know, and I was running that department along with two other people, and next thing you know, it just exploded. We were doing some real cutting edge for churches, like we would find out who the pastor was, get clips of him preaching. We would cut reels and everything coming in. And they were like, can we get that? So we opened a business actually doing that. And then when it it kind of even blew up to another level from there, then I started getting hired by mega churches to start doing that, coming
Oh,
in and redoing their television departments, things like that. One of my biggest jobs and funnest jobs was Bill Winston Ministries, where I was supposed to go 30 days and stayed up there a year.
mm,
Totally revamped the television department, did big conferences with TD Jakes and all these other individuals. It was huge. Then got flown out to Canada to a mega church there, and it was going really well. But one thing I noticed with churches, it was like they had all these different groups when you're that size, and their marketing was missing,
come
on
on.
a different, like it was in the secular area. So that made me kind of go, okay, there's some areas of opportunity here. And that's when I got started into that with inbound marketing and created my own company. And then from there, doing that type of marketing for churches, then the normal market started noticing, like, who's doing that? How is that happening? So then I start taking on regular clients, businesses, and created an SEO agency, which became number one in my area. And that blew up to another level. And then here comes AI.
Come on. I want to pause 1 second. Something that you said, that when you were working with the churches, you
Mhm.
noticed that the marketing was behind in comparison to the secular world. And
Right.
I've always said this, me being a marketplace pioneer, person that's always done work in the marketplace. One of the things I've always said, I always reference when the Bible says that the children of the world are wiser than the children of light. And the Lord began to show me how sometimes we get so caught up in religion that we lose the practicality of understanding that we also need strategy. And there's nothing wrong with
Right.
applying strategy to advance, that we should be advanced.
Hmm.
So I just
Should be.
wanted to,
Actually, if you think about it, we should be ahead.
we should be ahead because we
Right.
have divine technology through the Holy Spirit that we're always we have access to every single day. So you're
Mhm.
absolutely right. But go ahead, go talk about how you got into AI, and then I'm going to talk about how we connected.
Right. Well, actually, going back to the church, what was funny was we were doing things in the church that it looked like a television channel or a movie. Like we really upped the game. We were using the same softwares and all different kind of things that the regular world was using. So it really elevated. You came in, we were running commercials before church. So if your department had an announcement, it wasn't like a regular announcement. We literally made it like a commercial. So that's why it
Wow.
just blew up so much. And it was funny because people in the church saw that and they were like, who's doing that? Can you do that for my business? And that's what, ended up happening. So then, I
Awesome.
mean, I did Super Bowl commercials. I did short films. I could have went to Hollywood, and actually production houses were asking me
Wow.
to come join there. So I could have worked on movies like Avengers and everything. I was doing 3D animation, taught that online to people all over the world for a school online that I graduated from. As soon as I graduated, top of my class, they brought me back. I'm like, can you teach? So it was really amazing. But it's really funny how the journey moved, how it moved from that. It was like the preparation for this,
Yes.
because this is an entire movement.
Hmm.
This is something that is not going away. It is
Right
only
now.
going to increase. And when you're in the world of it, like we are, it seems to be increasing faster and faster and faster. And so it's one of those things where you can truly call it a paradigm shift. I was looking at it. The reason I got into it is I literally saw it like the internet, when the internet took off. Like you knew something big was coming. Even like when the Apple phone came out, all these people took advantage of it and started creating apps for it. This is a
Mhm.
whole different.
It
I mean,
is.
this right
It
here
is.
is to extend to areas. It is changing life. We are literally living in the precipice of the Jetsons.
Yeah.
You never
Think
saw
about it.
that.
Isn't it crazy? Like when you were looking at those cartoons back then, you would never think that we would be in this
Right,
space today. And here we are with AI. Like, first of all, I say, God, thank you, Lord, for allowing me to witness this because I'm raising
yeah,
Alpha Generation boys, a
yeah,
4 and a 7-year-old, and they're going to be even further into the future, right? And
right,
so, even with my son, seeing what I'm doing behind the scenes in this space, he now goes in and creates his own prompts, stuff that wants to
wow,
align with yes, with the things that he likes to do and all of that. We created his avatar for his YouTube channel that he's going to be launching. He used AI to, and the Lord told me, he said, you know what, you need to start training him because there's going to come a time where it's going to be a part of school. That
hmm
technology will be. I know we spoon feeding people. People don't want to hear,
hmm
but it will be a part of the everyday technology, just like we talked about with laptops, computers, internet, like all that stuff. So let's talk about. Well, I'm going to quickly talk about how we met, and then we're going to go into some deep AI talk.
Okay.
Um, so thinking about your journey, and I love what you said. It's interesting how God prepared our past. Like I didn't know I was going to end up here either. I started. My background is HR, but I've always been a creative even though I was in the HR field, which is like people like, born, how are you creative and you're HR? Like, I don't know. That's just how. And so I started my own creative tech agency, and then I kind of just segue into using Chat GPT. I'm a researcher. I love to research. When I go down a rabbit hole, I'll start chasing something when I see something that I feel like I should be doing. And that's when God led me to the AI space as well. So last year I met Brian. I saw him on a YouTube channel that he was doing an interview for an AI group. And the group that I was interested at the time to get into, but I was so intrigued by his knowledge, not only by AI, but just his business knowledge. And I put in my phone his name and I put coach. I was like, this man gonna coach me. I'm gonna be connected to him somehow. And I'm telling you, I manifested that because I didn't know when I did the discovery call, he was gonna be the person, and we have been connected ever since. And so I just want you to kind of talk about. I told him I wanted to prep everybody for this, and for those of you that will be watching the replay, I wanted to prep you guys that this is not more so tech talk. We're just going to talk high level about AI, and so I want you to kind of tell me a little bit about, you know, the AI myth versus reality. Like, what is it when we say AI? And I want us to talk about this because we're hearing it like now it's becoming a buzz. Everybody's jumping into it. It's so much. But
Mm.
just kind of give us a layman's term, not necessarily the artificial intelligence, but maybe just kind of like an overview of when we think about business. Like when we hear AI, what does that mean for business?
Okay. Okay. So when you look at businesses, businesses are comprised of systems and infrastructures, standard operational procedures, SOPs. All these things help run a business. What AI does for business is absolutely incredible. The speed at which you can get things done, the magnitude of what you can do, the extent of how far you can reach as a company is it it totally goes to a different level. It's like having 50, 60 employees, even though you're very small, or if you're larger, it adds hundreds. The tasks that you would normally do daily, you can have automated. It is mind blowing on what it can do. And even from its inception of really hitting the market until now, there's a huge difference. The models are getting faster. People are starting to realize it. Literally, when was that? Last week, I had a friend who works at a college, major university, and she was trying to do some tasks, and I was telling her about AI and kind of helped her through a couple of lessons. And she was like, I had no idea it had this capability. She literally told me, Breon, this would have taken me like a day and a half. We finished it in under 2 hours. And that was from set up to showing her how to do it to her actually executing the tasks and getting it done. And now I started something because she turned that work in and they were trying to figure out, how did you do this? They literally picked up the phone and called her. They were like, how did you, what did you do? How did you do this? And she said, I'll tell you all later. I got a plan for the department, because she's actually a department head. And they were just blown away. They were blown
Wow.
away at how efficient what she turned in. And I did something simple as, we took some documents she had written, we placed it in the AI. I did a few prompts, had it match her writing, and then we were sending out like 40, 50 emails and some other papers that she had to do. And it
So
literally sounded just
let's
like her.
pause a little bit, because that when okay, because chat came out what, 2022, and now we're in 2025.
Mhm.
So for the most part, when people hear AI, they think about chat GPT, right? Because that's the brain of a lot of things that's going on and how different AI systems are being built, right? The learning language model, right? So what you just described, though, and this is why I think it's so important for people to be educated on, first, the fact that AI is very broad, right? And you got to figure out where you fit in, and also what it can do. So what you just explained was not just somebody just regularly using chat GPT, right? Tell me a
Right.
little bit more. Is that like a mini automation? Talk a little bit about what you created for your friend, and what I guess, what type of, I guess, what pocket of AI that would fit in.
Okay. So you have your, what we call the 2%ers, which are the people who are AI power users. They are utilizing these capabilities on a totally different level than the normal public is. So the
Yeah.
normal public pulls out Chat GPT, they do a few little things and they go, oh my gosh, wow. And it is mind blowing because that's how we all started. But
Right.
then you have people who take it a whole other level, and they're doing mass amounts of work at a very high speed. And so for her, that wasn't just, her intro was actually more advanced because of things I showed her when it came to that. When I started, it was actually in voice AI, which was, and I beta tested it on clients that I already had. And so next thing you know, I'm introducing to them to this, and it's blowing them away because it's answering the phone, like taking calls, giving out information, transferring calls. It was like a filter to where their front desks were, I think one group said it took 60% of the load off of the front desk.
Wow. Do you hear those numbers of what voice AI can do? Go
Yeah.
ahead.
50%. And then we noticed that people who were in business and they were trying to sell things online, they were getting the information from the leads. And it's all about speed to lead, it's what we call it. Well, people were not getting back to some of the people, or it came in at night. They're trying to reach them during the day. Well, we designed these systems to where they were calling back in less than a minute, and that was bringing the closing rate up to 391% more efficient than it was before. And so starting out at Chat GPT or whichever one you want to use, there's so many of them out there. This is kind of that ground level where you start to see how these things can work. So that's the basic level. But what's funny about this is the basic level is huge.
Yes.
Just the basics, just to start using it to help you write things or do basic tasks. And then you start getting to the level where this is automated, like daily tasks are done for you.
So
And
that
that's
and that's
a whole different level.
that's where I wanted to go, because I feel like, we've surpassed, obviously. I mean, we use, Claude and all the other, models during the day, and for different various reasons throughout our business processes. But I want to create a community where we move people from just your regular prompt engineering to an automated life.
Right, right,
And that's what I feel like is the true game changer in
hmm
AI automation. And
right.
even when we say that, that can also be broad. So kind of break that down into layman's term. When we talk about AI automation, what is it? Give it to the people.
Okay. So AI automation is basically, let's say you have the task, you come into work, you do task A, task B, and task C. Okay, now you come into work, those tasks are no longer done by you. The AI is like an employee. The AI is like an extra front desk person. The AI is like an extra technical person. But you can compound automation by automation by automation. So it becomes 2, 3, 10, 20, 30 people. And now you're having all kind of things run from a standpoint of AI doing it, where you can concentrate on different areas and grow your company. And so in starting this, I love how you said the community, because we've talked about that several times. Taking a person from writing something very simple and asking AI to do it in something like Claude or Chat GPT or something like that, to the point where it's helping run your entire business. That's where we want to take people. That's the journey we want to have. And I think people will understand it when we start to literally show them. I
Yeah.
have a friend who he can go in and type something in Chat GPT and get a response. Okay, I can go in aiming to do the same thing, but since I know prompt engineering, my answer is totally different from his. And it got to the point where I was showing him and he was looking like, how in the world did you get that answer? And so, one of the foundational components to learn for all AI is prompt engineering. And
You
it's
guys
funny,
better make a note of that. That's the core of how you're going to excel in AI. Go ahead, bro.
and it's really just prompts. It's how you're talking to it, but then there's levels to this process and how you're talking to the AI. And so I got really deep. I noticed that from the beginning, and I did have a little advantage there, kind of understanding it, because at AT&T Wireless I did coding. So it was like, man,
Okay.
I need to jump on this, because if it's as effective as it was there, then I really need to learn it here. And then I went crazy with it till I actually, pretty much, if I wanted to go work for IBM, I'd be a senior level or higher prompt engineer. So I learned it to that level, and it is the foundation, like I said earlier, of all of this. Because what people have to understand with AI, even though it's advanced to the point where it is now, the better your input, the better your output. And that right there is a separator. People are throwing videos on YouTube talking about prompt engineering is dead and things like that. And I'm like, you honestly must don't understand how this really works, or they're doing
Yep.
it for clickbait. But trust me, even at the level where I'm using one of the most advanced LLMs out there, still prompting it a certain way and getting a response, that is a big deal. So people definitely, need to know that. And I think that's something you and I said we're gonna be
Yeah,
showing.
and that's gonna be a part of our community. So the community that we're gonna be launching, that is gonna be like the first course in the classroom that you will learn, because you can't thrive in AI without first knowing how to prompt engineer. And people ask me, you know, Io, how can I break into AI, from a profession perspective? And that is the first thing I say. Learn how to prompt engineer, go get a course, go take a course. If you start there, because here's the other thing, putting on my HR hat. When we talk about job replacement, people are getting, afraid. I'm going to tell you, jobs are not going to be fully replaced right now with AI. There are still some things. There will be some industries, but I'm going to tell you what jobs will be in demand, and that is prompt engineering. Because as companies now begin to review their organization and figure out how they can save costs and save time and do more and be more productive in advance, they're going to need prompt engineers to help manage some of their AI systems. And of course, this is on a more higher enterprise level and bigger, companies. But the point is, if you can position yourself as a prompt engineer, starting there, you're going to be ahead of the game.
Right,
So
right.
don't
I'll even
ignore those videos that say prompt engineering is dead, because it's the foundation for how AI works.
It is. It is. And honestly, right now, just watching the show a couple of weeks ago, CNBC, I think it was, they
Mhm,
were speaking to CEOs of companies, COOs of companies. And
mhm.
they were saying what you have to realize is the AI revolution is here. So, at the same time of it replacing a lot of jobs, it is going to be opening a lot of jobs. People who adopt this, the early adopters, the people who understand where this is going, and then they develop a skill in that area, they are going to be highly sought after, to the point where for the last few years there have been mass amounts of layoffs in the
In
tech
the tech.
field.
Yep,
But
I witnessed
all
it.
these guys were talking about on CNBC when they were doing at these interviews, they were like, we don't have people to hire because we don't have enough people that know this. One CEO was on there and he was like, we literally have 40 to 50 positions right now, just in phase one, that we can't even fill. He was like, because people don't understand or know AI, they don't know how to do this. And the people that we're getting only know like their experience with AI is just small level chat GPT. And they were saying, but if you knew how to go further with this, we literally have positions. So, and this was CEO after CEO
No,
after CEO.
you're
They were
on
like,
it.
fill the positions, and we wish we could.
You're on it. My background's my creative tech staffing firm. You're so on it. I remember when we had our contract with Microsoft, still have it. But jobs are not being filled. They cut out a lot of jobs because they knew AI was coming down the pipe. And I'm going to tell you, I told myself I'm going to shift my I'm still doing it, but I'm going to shift to focus on all AI jobs. It makes
Mm.
sense because I knew that that is exactly where we're going. We're going in that direction. And here's the other thing. So, man, this is crazy. So I'm guessing schools are not, no, and they're not Natasha, because I literally I was sharing in the beginning of the broadcast how, God was sharing me to start teaching my son AI. These schools now are going to have to start creating AI programs in college.
They're
In
already doing
Yeah,
already.
I know college level, they're going to have to, because that's going to be the next job wave. Think
Mhm.
about it. A lot of the things that we're building in AI, tech now has shifted because of AI. So a lot of these people that were doing heavy coding and all that, now you can build apps with no code
Mhm.
because of AI. Like we're building things 10 times faster. So that's interesting. I want to kind of talk about the what is your perspective on when we talk about the wealth transfer and how AI plays a role into the wealth transfer from the kingdom perspective. For those of us that are believers, like what does that look like? And what do you what is some advice you think you can give to people as it pertains to AI?
Okay, so this is a huge opportunity. I mean, a huge opportunity. And you have to understand the implications of this. If you can get in AI now and start developing your skills, I would say immerse yourself within it. You are opening a door to a different financial realm. Um, it's like starting over. This is one of those industries where it's like a start over, where it's like, okay, now you can get in and you're still at the beginning. We are still really at the beginning
I'm
of
so
this.
glad you made that point. I was going to say that too.
Yeah. And even though it's moving fast, at the same time that it's moving fast and the capabilities are increasing, more doors are actually opening. So it's moving at scale, but the doors are opening wider and opportunities for you to get into this. And so you have to imagine, we were just speaking on CNBC and COOs and CEOs on high level enterprise, but what about SMEs, which are smaller ones? And what about
Mhm.
local businesses? Imagine walking in there and taking a local business from a little small thing, a little small operation to, oh my gosh, automation is in there, things are moving. What about even the opportunity to create your own business and learn things and get contracts to help other businesses? Because everyone has a network of people that they know. And so learning this information and sharing this information with everyone, it is literally, the wealth is opening up. I mean, I'm seeing it, and I know, Io, you're seeing it, that we started, like, I started just from beta testing with a few clients
Right.
to now I'm working on much bigger projects. And
Yeah.
even to the point where I told you, like, a while back, I'm like, I know I'm supposed to go enterprise with this. The things that I've learned, how I am applying the skills that I've learned, how God's opening doors for all of this. I know it's him. So I know some major things are going to come from it, and I need to continue to do my part. And as I've done that, just like all of you can do, the doors have opened. And now, I've just been invited in and given a position of a chief business development officer, which is a C-level, C-suite position for this brand
Oh,
new
Jesus.
initiative that's going out, and it's huge. It's actually a venture studio. And for all of you that don't know, that is like IBM level. That is like, it's major. And so my responsibilities there are going to be massive. And it's just like an eye opener from my business to other businesses I've worked in, where I'm sort of like a fractional CAIO, which is a chief AI officer in some other businesses, to now this. And it's all about getting immersive in this. And I really want you all to understand what an opportunity this is. Like, I really, really need you to understand that learning these skills will change your life. And I'm not kidding. I mean, change your life. Because not only will it help your own circumstances or help you do your own task and everything, but it is opening a door for you to extend out further than that and help other people. Because if you think about it, the basis of all of this, it's helping. It's
Yeah.
sewing into businesses. It's
Yeah.
sewing into people. It's
Yeah.
helping them take their own lives and their businesses to another level. And so
And
we're
accelerate.
sowing a lot of seed, and you're going to reap greatness from it. And so this is ground zero, guys. This is ground zero. So
Yeah.
you really need to look at this. You really, really need to pray about it, see what area you need to do to get in. But I would say from the beginning, learn the basic skills.
Yeah.
Start looking at some videos. Start getting into this to where, because no matter where you go, you still have to have foundational components of knowledge.
Yeah.
So
And
that's something you really need to get into. And I think we're going to come up with something pretty nice to help you guys out.
oh, yes, we are working on an amazing opportunity, community that we're building together in partnership that we believe is going to transform many people's lives. And we don't take it lightly. We are honored that God allowed us to get in this space so early, so that we can give back, to our community. And we're really, really excited. Yes, yes, Sylvia. If people do not learn this, they will stay stuck.
Right.
Absolutely,
They'll
they
get
will.
behind.
They will. This will be one of those situations where, when Lot was moving, his wife looked back and she became a pillar of salt. If you don't move forward, you're going to stay stagnated.
Right. You know what this is comparison to? Think about it this way in real practical terms.
Hmm.
You're either going to walk from, let's say we're all in New York. Okay, all of us. And we need to get to California. Don't adopt AI. It will be like you're walking. Adopt AI. It will be like you're getting in a vehicle and driving. How much faster are you going to get there than the people walking? And then let's say you become immersive in this and
So
you
good.
really start to learn high level skills. Okay, now it's like you're jumping in a PJ, a private jet, and you're going from New York to California. How much faster are you going to get there than the individuals that are walking? This is literally what it's like. Literally what it's like. Remember, I had someone, just as a simple task, go from something that would have taken them a day and a half to 2 hours, and an hour of it was me talking over it, giving them instructions on, hey, this is what this is, having them look up terms, really sitting there teaching them. So now really you cut a day and a half down to an hour.
Yes.
1 hour, day and a half. So imagine that compounded over a year.
Wow.
Over a year. Imagine how much further you're going to be. And that was just one thing. Now, what if I taught her 15 or 20 things that were going on? How does that compound over an entire year? So this is what we're talking about. And that's what I want you guys to start thinking of, is the time saved that
Hmm.
allows you to do something else in your business or for another company's business.
Yeah.
The impact of this is astronomical.
I want to read a comment that Sylvia posted. For all business owners, churches, and ministries, we can't plead the blood and ignore this time of evolving. Listen, we
Hey,
are
that's
evolving. That's
practicality that
it.
you were talking about.
Yes, that is
You know
it.
what? When it comes to things like this, step off of the religious platform. You know, really,
Mhm.
we're talking about practical
Right.
things here.
So we have a
So
question too. Go ahead.
don't go, no, oh, we need to pray, and we need to see if AI can. Do you pray about your car taking you to church?
Come on. Come on. We got to break
You
these
know, that's
religious
what I'm
things.
saying. It's like, okay, you know what? Let's
Yes.
get real with this. Okay, you're asking for things. God is providing things, providing open doors, and you're still going, well, if the Lord tells me to look. Look, okay, stay there.
or AI is demonic. So
Right,
Natasha
right.
asked a question.
It's just like, you know what? AI is a tool.
It's a
Okay.
tool.
First and foremost, everyone understand AI is a tool. I call it the ultimate co-pilot. It is the best
Oh, I
co-pilot
love
in
that.
the world. How you utilize it is everything because you're the pilot. So just like and I keep going back to a car because I just want to keep it simplistic. Just like a car, you can either run people over and use it as a weapon, or you can help people. You can take them from point A to point B. You can take yourself from point A to point B. You can
Yes.
build bigger vehicles that fit more people. You can then build planes that can fly people, just like what's going on now. So, do you think we're sitting up here talking about a religious decision about planes flying? They're flying pastors to conferences. They're
Right.
doing, imagine that back in the
Right.
days of Peter and John and all them, where they could
Yeah.
spread the gospel to the level that you can do it now because you
Yeah.
have technology.
Right.
Well, so don't,
Yeah.
look at this in a real practical way.
I want to
This
answer
is
some
the engine
questions.
that can catapult you and your businesses to places where you dreamed you could for
Yeah.
way less financial, you know, investment in it, because you're not having to hire 40, 50 employees. You
Hmm.
can hire less employees who understand the skill set, and you would be further ahead than you would have if you did option one.
Right. I want to answer a few questions that we have some of our viewers. So Natasha asks, what skills do you advise we begin digging into more? And I'll keep it brief so we can, because there's some few other things I want to add up here. So what
Yeah.
skills do you think we should start that you would advise somebody that's watching this broadcast today that's thinking about learning more about AI and to want to continue to evolve?
Prompt engineering. That's it. Because
Okay.
even when we can start talking about automations, it's still the directions that you're going to give the large language model.
Mhm.
So everything starts with your ability to increase the level of your input so that you can get better outputs. Like literally, that's where it is. Like I was discussing earlier, my friend who when he was looking at my prompts as opposed to his, now he's gotten so much better and he's doing things, and it's like he's already implemented that in his own business, and he started from zero, just like some of you would
Wow.
be, and he just kept on learning and calling me, and he would discuss, okay, I put this in, and then I started to, a lot of prompt engineering is how you think. Okay,
Yes.
so what you want to start doing is when you're looking to do these tasks, what you want to do differently that a lot of people are not is you want to think from the end to the front, to the beginning. You want to think, this is the result I want. So now I need to put the information in to get this result. And you start thinking differently. It's the difference between, okay, I want to write an email to Joe about this. Okay. Then you start getting more advanced. I would like to create an email to Joe regarding this subject. Now, this is what we've already discussed. Bloom, 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 bloom. I would also like you to research a portion of this that involves bloom, 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 bloom. The really where we want to get to is bloom, 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 bloom. And now look at the difference between that and just the first one saying, write an email to this person about this.
So
So
you
there are
build a prompt engineer, you build upon you. It's like
right,
a
it's
building block. Yep, that's how I
layers.
learned
And
it.
then
Yeah.
there are things that we're going to show them, Io, that are like the 5 basic principles that you want to make sure every prompt has.
Yes.
Or, a prompt, not to get too technical for everyone, a prompt is just directions. It's
Oh, I
what
like
you
that. Yep.
typing in directions. This is what I, just like you would be talking to a coworker. I would like you to write me an email it's directions. So when you hear prompt, don't let that scare you, or don't let that, go over your head to where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even understand what that is. It's basically, prompt engineering is the art of learning how to give clarity in directions. That's
That's
it.
good. That's
Real
good.
simple. Real simple.
That's good. And as we shared, we're going to be launching our online our community, and these are some of the things that you're going to be learning in our community. So I'm truly excited. So before we wrap up, is there any final things that you want to say? Tell us a little bit about how people can stay connected to you. What you have coming up, and anything else that you want to share around the AI, or anything that's on your heart that you want to share.
Um, I think, again, I would like to reiterate to everyone, get involved with it. Really, this is an I don't even know how to describe what an amazing opportunity this is. And so I need you all to look at your situations, look at your futures, and understand this is a catalyst to where you have dreamed of, the things that you really want to do, the levels that you want to take your business to. So I really want you all to get involved in it. I would like you all to stay connected to Ayo as we create this community. You can find me on LinkedIn under Breon Bradford. There's not that many Breons. So Breon Bradford on LinkedIn. And I'm actually going to be launching my YouTube within the next week or two. The channel is already there, no videos.
Follow him.
I already have people that are following, because I'm going to be coming out with some things from a more business standpoint to help people understand how to operate and maneuver through all of this. And so, you know, I just want everyone to really understand what an opportunity this is, and
Right.
that we're here to help.
Yeah.
And for me, my next projects right now is the venture studio is a big one. So I'm still increasing in clients in my company. At the same time, I'm also seeing, because we were on a meeting till 3 a.m. this morning, me, the CEO, and the COO of that company, and we were really hashing some things out. Um, so that is going to be a big undertaking, absolutely huge, but I'm looking forward to it. It's where I ask God, you know, I want to get there, help me get there. This is the enterprise level, and things just operate so much differently on that level. And I'm looking forward to it. It's pushing me, which is what I wanted. It's making me be more disciplined. It's making me adopt more skills, and I'm loving the journey.
I
So
love it. Love it. Love it. How do we get into this upcoming community? I will be posting about it. We will be setting up time where we're going to be launching this. We're going to host a free masterclass coming up. And during that masterclass, we're going to open the doors to the community. You guys, we're gonna definitely be marketing this. So I'm excited. Um, I'm so glad that people now get an opportunity to meet the man behind the brand. And that's been helping me grow my business. He is an
look,
amazing
everyone, I
partner.
would say you all are tied to a fireball. This girl, this girl, I wake up, voice notes are already on my I just hit the button, bro. Let me tell you, I'm like, this girl is on fire. Like, and that's what made me really connect to her, because she's not just someone who talks; she implements. Even to the point, sometimes I'm like, okay, I am.
He does have to talk me off the ledge so I
I
can
need,
stay focused.
I need to
I
come
have
back.
this pathetic
I
creative
I
brain, guys.
that's the thing with her. She's so talented, so blessed, so gifted that she just sees something like, oh, I could do this. It's like, I know you can. Okay, but that doesn't mean go over there. Like, I need you to come back. I need you to come back. So she has grown so much since we first met.
Oh my
And
God.
I'm telling you guys, I'm so happy that you're part of her community. And it's an honor and a joy for me to be able to speak in front of all of you and connect with you. And then even to build something like me and Ayo are building for you all to help you.
Yeah.
Like that's a big thing with us. We really
Yeah.
enjoy doing that. It's the giving back. So
Yes.
to be able to
Yeah.
put this together for you guys and help you, um, that's tremendous for us, and we're
Yes.
really excited about it.
Yes, we are very passionate, and that's so crazy. We're gonna wrap, but that was one of the biggest things that I loved, and I knew that I would had the right person with Breon was because that was the first thing he talked about was that yo, we got to figure out how do we get this out to our community. And let me say this: we were talking about this last summer when you guys didn't even know that voice AI existed. Okay, we were talking about these things last year, and I'm just really excited for the progress and this, even how we've grown, even in our profession as an AI in the AI space, but even how God is just developing us further. And we have an opportunity to give back to you all. So we our goal is to create millionaires in the AI space. That is our goal. That is our desire. And so when this community is birthed, we're going to encourage you guys to get in it. It is going to be phenomenal, phenomenal. So I will definitely be posting about that, staying connected. Thank you guys for joining us. For those of you catching the replay, make sure you share, share, share. Thank you, bro, for joining me today. Guys, God bless. Breon, you stay on. God bless. Have a fantastic weekend.